So the dwindling available land plus the constant loss of nutrients ends up with us not having enough to grow plants on. What's up, guys? This is Gina from The Modern Green Life, and today I just finished reading The Vertical Farm, and I want to share with you some of its ideas today. Okay, so The Vertical Farm is written by Dr. Dixon Despommier. Despommier? I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Sorry. Dr. Dixon is a PhD of microbiology and a professor at the University of Columbia, and is most well known for being the main theorizer of The Vertical Farm. This book goes into explaining one of the biggest problems we're going to be facing in the next decades or so, and that is the problem that we are not going to be able to keep up with the food and water demands of our growing population. Currently, we're at 7.6 billion people globally, and by 2030, that's estimated to grow to be 8.6 billion, and by 2050, that will be 9.8 billion people. Now, him starting off with these facts about how we're not going to be able to feed our future population really made me wonder why. Why can't we just increase the amount of crops that we farm today? Why can't we just add more workers to it and add more land, and that will solve our problem? Well, he explains it like this. Okay, first, the food. Right now, we get our food from farming it on land in various parts of the world. The thing about farming is that it removes nutrients from soil every time you grow something on it. Historically, we've actually been known to suck away so many nutrients from the soil that we had to abandon the land altogether and go somewhere else. So to avoid completely annihilating curable land, farmers rotate which sections of their land they grow crops on at once, meaning at any given time, not all land can be utilized to grow crops. Also, other farmable land is constantly being used up to build living spaces for more people, like apartments and Costco's, for the growing population. So the dwindling available land plus the constant loss of nutrients ends up with us not having enough to grow plants on. Another reason why farming as we know it won't work is because it's unstable. It's at the mercy of weather, disease, and pests that can kill the crops at any time. And millions of dollars are lost when the crops are all wiped out from a new sickness or lack of rain. Fertilizers and pesticides used to combat these problems go into our groundwater, making it too contaminated to drink. But we do anyway, and it's killing us, but whatever. Side note, isn't it funny that we're paying for these fertilizers to cause contaminated groundwater runoff, which needs more money from us to maintain the machines that clean the water that we essentially paid to pollute in the first place? Just side note thoughts. Anyways, these limitations of farming is the reason why we're not going to be able to keep up with demand. And here's where Dr. Dixon introduces the solution of the vertical farm. So a vertical farm is essentially an indoor farming solution where you grow plants of all types indoors without any dirt. Now, in his book, he details how he imagines the vertical farm to be more of like an urban skyscraper in the middle of a city, and it could possibly feed all the people inhabiting that city. The structure itself will be completely zero waste. What that means is that all its byproducts will also be reused to support and sustain the building itself. The overall main benefits of an indoor farming solution like the vertical farm is basically everything that a traditional farm cannot control. If it's indoors, we can control the weather, the climate. So essentially that means that we can grow food year-round without any problems, meaning that we can actually stop pests from entering the building, and therefore we don't have to spray herbicides and pesticides on the plant. Also, if we move all of our farms indoors, we won't have to use as much land, right? Because outdoor farming requires a horizontal space, while vertical farming will be all vertical. And so you'll be able to grow more crops per square inch. Another upside to a vertical farm is that because it's in the middle or in the vicinity of a city, we'll use less carbon emissions to transport the food from the farm to the table. However, the biggest downsides of vertical farming is the high initial upfront cost. First of all, you're building in a city. That is in itself expensive to build anything in a city. And you're also building a huge vertical structure where you have to actually find a way to supply it energy, water, in a way where it becomes self-sufficient. So with all the high initial upfront costs, I'm not sure how people will be able to create a profit from it if growing regular vegetables like corn or something that usually is cheap for us to buy. The way that some vertical farms that currently exist today are making profit is they are selling off higher priced herbs rather than essential basic fruit and vegetables. So I do believe that something like the vertical farm or some other new technology or development needs to occur in this industry for us to be able to continue on living with that many people on this earth. If you've read this book, please let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you haven't and you want to still ask some questions about it, let me know. I definitely put a lot of notes, as you can see in the book, so that I don't forget specific ideas. And what do you guys think of indoor farming? Would you care if your plants and your vegetables and your fruits came from inside? I mean, I personally wouldn't, but people are different. Maybe you would. And would it taste different, you think? So definitely subscribe to my channel if you are interested in more zero waste and environmentally friendly ideas that are out there in the world. And as always, stay healthy and stay green. Bye.